Alright, hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a paid mod. The paid mods have just come out for this week. So we're going to be looking at the Apex Terrormorph Overhaul by Goldhost25. This is a 500 credit mod, which is around €5, $5, about £4, that changes the Terrormorph for various reasons. Now, Goldhost was the mod author that also did the Cosmic Scale paid mod. Don't worry, I'm not going to call them an incel this time. That was a joke about the last video. I don't think I actually called him that. But yeah, so straight off the bat, just looking at it, just looking at the changes and stuff, it seems like another kind of cash grab just going off of it. So they can summon illusions of themselves to distract you. They can go invisible. Their speed changes randomly. They can stagger you when they dominate your mind. And NPCs can have various mind controls effects cast on them: calm, fury, and fear. The total health and damage has been scaled up to 300%, and all these options are toggleable. So, I mean, yeah, let's just jump into it and see how it goes. We're going to be on Xbox for this, just for the testing. Might make it tricky finding a Terrormorph, but we'll do it anyway. Yeah, let's jump into it. All right, so we're in game now. We're going to take a look at some of these settings. All right. So Apex, average duration. The average duration of Terrormorph abilities. 0 will disable the creation. 10, 12, 14, 18. It goes all the way up to 30. Okay, so we'll set it at 10. Change for each ability. The percentage, each ability will run for each Terrormorph based on the percentage. So 30% to 100, and it goes down to disabled. So the decoys, the max number of decoys each Terrormorph can summon. Each will summon a random number between 1 and the number of its chosen. 0 will be default, so you can bump that up to 10. And then one-hit decoys. Decoy Terrormorph will die in one hit. Apex speed changes. Terrormorph will randomly change their speed. Enabled. Invisibility. Terrormorphs will randomly can go invisible. This one is a weird one because Terrormorphs can, if I'm not mistaken, Terrormorphs go invisible anyway. Weird change. Terrormorphs will randomly calm humans near them. Terrormorphs will randomly fury humans near them. Or randomly fear humans. Terrormorph will randomly stagger you for a second. Terrormorph's total health, so its health by default has been buffed by 100%. That can go up to 300%. The damage, again, 100%, so this is the default damage. So yeah, so let's go check it out. So we're going to be on, what we'll do is we'll go on normal. I have some pretty good weapons, so it shouldn't be too hard to take it down. So yeah, I'm going to jump to Ptolemy real quick, and yeah, when we see one. All right, so we're on Ptolemy. I'm just going to look around, and while we're looking, I'm going to just give it kind of a brief little update. So Terrormorphs by default, they'll try and, so a little bit of backstory, I suppose, lore. Terrormorphs are like the apex creatures of Starfield. They're the equivalent of the Deathclaws. So the equivalent of the Deathclaws from Fallout, or I don't actually know what they'd be in like Elder Scrolls, but they can, in combat, they can disorient NPCs and make them fight you. They can also take control of, well, I suppose that is taking control. They can also take control of creatures, like Xenos, and make them fight for you, or fight against you. They will try and, like, use their, so the whole, like, premise behind it, I mean, we're not really sure lore-wise, but they try and get in your head, and you'll hear voices that, like, to try and mess with the player. But it's assumed that because the player is, like, they can hear the voices, but they don't get turned on them. It's probably because we're pretty much immune to the control effect. So the Terrormorphs can go invisible by default. They're pretty difficult creature to fight, I'm not gonna lie. The mod itself seems quite interesting. Like, just obviously we haven't tested it yet, but the idea of kind of a mod that buffs just singular Terrormorphs, like, not opposed to that. I think the price is a little bit high, but then again, we have yet to come across Terrormorphs. We are on Ptolemy. It's going to, hopefully it won't be too hard to find a Terrormorph. The Terrormorph going invisible thing, like, so apparently That was a terrormorph. I don't know if you felt the screen shake. Alright, there's a terrormorph somewhere. There's one. Alright, so level 14 terrormorph over there. So we're going to push it. We have Korra as a follower. I'm going to really quick save here. So we're going to go and just see what it's... Where'd it go? Alright, so there it is there. Can't tell if it's invisible. Oh no, there's two of them. Okay, so there's Terrormorph. No. Whoa. Okay, so the Terrormorph is aggroing the creatures. The creatures fight it. This is normal behavior. I'm gonna take him out just so that... Yeah, so the Terrormorph... Come on, look at me. Okay, so the Terrormorph, like, it can stagger to begin with. Like, it's shock it, or it's like... Well, that was... Okay, well, he died quite quickly. Right, Korra also, like, we're on normal. Korra has some good gear. But the Terrormorph will normally stagger you when it does that, that kind of, like, echo attack. Just, like, straight off the bat, my mod senses are tingling. Because there's two things that kind of make it seem like that the mod author is potentially going for a cash grab and like not actually thinking too hard about what's being done. Now, I will say, I was informed by Ghost, Xenomaster, that the mod author of this mod is also the mod author of Bedlam, which is the dungeon randomizer, which is a very, very cool mod. So clearly the mod author like knows his stuff regarding certain things. But yeah, like the Terrormorph, like going invisible, like Terrormorphs, that's a variant of Terrormorphs. And then the other thing is, again, the stun. Like the kind of the whole point of the design mechanic behind the voice in your head when the Terrormorph, it's like it's trying to kind of break through your subconscious to control you. And your mind is too powerful, but you can still feel the effect of it, like the voices. Like you'll hear random NPC voices tell you like they'll say go away or over there or he's behind you, stuff like that. Having like a stagger effect to that kind of, again, it changes the design philosophy Bethesda intended with the game. I'm gonna run up here and just hello Terrormorph. So Korra's gonna as you can see, Korra is absolutely annihilating it. Like, goddamn. These are obviously low-level Terrormorphs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump the difficulty up a little bit. Just to... Actually, no. We'll keep it on normal. And I'm going to bump up the... Change reachability. We're gonna bump some of the settings up. And then we're going to bump up the health. We're not going to bump the damage, because the Terrormorph, regardless of what difficulty you're on, aside from maybe normal Terrormorphs, they hit like a truck. On extreme difficulty, melee-based damage from Xenos in general is like one of the few things that can like actively kill a high-level player. So I'm going to run around a bit. I'm probably going to jump cut here. Just until we find another one. Might have to put Korra out to pasture if she keeps one-shotting them. We'll be back. Alright, there's a level 10 Terrormorph here. Now I see 3 Terrormorphs. I'm not sure which is the illusion. Or what they could be. These could very well be 3 Terrormorphs. But it also could very well be just one. Okay. So they just went invisible. They've got stealth. Oh god, they are 3 Terrormorphs. Okay, yeah, so that's a real Terrormorph. Okay, so as you can see, it makes the decoys. Okay, so there's... How many is there? Oh yeah, so the decoy... I mean, the decoy system, that's quite cool. They go, like, invisible. Oh. Okay, that is actually cool. Is that actually what they meant by the stagger? So it seems like when they do their like their duplicate, right? So the stagger. I don't know. I'm listing for the voices. Are they fighting each other? I think they are fighting each other. That's kind of hilarious. Okay. So as you can see there, I will say the random decoy, that is very cool. And the stagger, it's hard to tell with the stagger what specifically is causing it. Whether it's, I don't know what this is though. This is like a side effect. Obviously when they do their like kind of teleport thing, they leave this. So the particle, leaving a particles behind. I'm gonna have to kill them real quick just to see if the particles. And then we've got more terrormorphs over there. So I will say, like, I actually, right, so I know initially I came in here kind of like, oh, cash grab, which we'll get to that. I actually really like the mechanic or the teleport thing. And it's hard to tell, not the teleport, but the where they kind of duplicate. Now, I don't know what causes the stagger, but if the stagger was caused by the duplication, which it seems like it might be, then my game just crashed. Okay, lovely. We'll be back. All right, so we're back in the game now. So I was going to actually come to that. So I am on Xbox, and that crash could have been just a fluke because, you know, games can crash. I'm going to try and find that location again. My concern was the particle effect, as you see, the kind of the Milky Way kind of spacey thing that the Terrormorph seems to leave behind. That doesn't. It didn't seem to despawn when I killed it, but obviously there wasn't enough testing. Any sort of like special effects or particles can cause performance issues, and on the Xbox specifically, you know, it's not as powerful as your people running your 50, 90 millions and your like AMD Ryzen whatevers. So hopefully we can get another encounter. Now, what I was going to say was that, yeah, so I don't know what causes the stagger, whether it's just a random chance when the enemy attacks you, or whether it was the teleport, or or whether it was the like duplication. But if it was tied just to the duplication, which hopefully that is the case, if not, you know, that's really cool, because like it's the idea of your character getting stunned because you're like, holy crap, there's multiple. Now, saying that, I don't know how. I don't know if there's like a kind of a CC immunity. That's what you call like crowd control immunity in like MMOs. I don't know if like the player is like able to have like an immunity, because I feel like getting staggered consistently, like so you've seen there in that initial fight, I was getting staggered quite frequently, like maybe once every couple of seconds, and I feel like the initial like time happening is like really cool, but I feel like after, you know, like maybe like have like it's like happens once every maybe 10-20 seconds, just so it's not completely, you know, obnoxious, because it is very cool when they teleport, or not, I say teleport, but like when they make copies of itself. And it kind of like subconsciously makes sense, because the idea of the Terrormorph, like we don't know too much about it. We don't know if it's pheromones or if it's like a psychological thing, like they got space powers. But the idea of like it trying to manipulate you, and if it realizes it can't control you, but it can connect to your mind, it can, you know, mess with you by basically making you see versions of itself that aren't really there. Now, I haven't noticed, Cora is just a generic NPC. She's nothing special. She's not a follower. And as you've seen in my streams, she tends to just kind of, well, she Sometimes she just doesn't feel like doing anything, like a very generic NPC. I was hoping we would get to see the Terrormorph react and maybe take over Cora temporarily, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Oh, little mini carries. So I'm going to try. Hello, Gary. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, there's Terrormorphs. Instantly got stunned. So I instantly got stunned, and those Terrormorphs are quite a way away from me. So we're gonna do some more testing. Now, obviously, I am on the, just a confirmation, playing on normal difficulty. I have 60 FPS performance. So yeah, let's see. So these particle effects that seem to stay, instantly that's a no-no in my book, because I have a feeling that is what caused me to crash. Also, all right, that's not to do with the Terrormorph, I don't think. She just does that. These getting left behind. Now, it may be a case of that when we kill the Terrormorphs, they go away. Where are the Terrormorphs? The stagger. It seems like if you're within range of the Terrormorph, everything gets staggered, which seems lazy. Okay, I'm seeing performance issues. Seems kind of lazy. I kind of wish that the Terrormorph would have to be directly focusing on the player. My game crashed again. Okay, yeah, okay. So I guess we're just gonna we'll try one more time, because the last time my game crashed like this, I got very irate at the mod author. And to be completely honest with you, this mod author, I could equally get irate at them, because there are other... It's a weird one. Like, you guys, if you've been watching my videos for like a while, you kind of know my stance on stuff like this. Like, I don't like to be a douchebag, you know, or a dickhead and call people this, that, and the other. But it's my belief that the original mod that I reviewed from this mod author, not Bedlam, which when I actually found out that the mod author had made Bedlam, it kind of made me think like, oh, maybe if I had known that, I would have maybe gave them a little bit slack. Now, why the mod author has two different accounts, one for a paid mod and one not, I don't know. But that being said, the cosmic scale, in my opinion, was a cash grab, and a very egregious attempt at a cash grab, because female settings aside, all it did was scale the creatures up. That's all it did. And when they died, they would get shrunk down to their normal size or scaled up to their normal size. Now, Ghost was giving me some information on this. Ghost is like, when it comes to Xenos and anything Xeno, Ghost is it's his stuff. He's the wizard of that stuff. Ghost was telling me that that's not how you should be doing it. I'm not a modder. I'm just kind of parroting what Ghost told me. But basically, when you scale up a creature like that, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to spawn them in first in like a kind of a hidden room, scale them up, and then spawn them in the game area. So that way, the game always realizes they're going to be scaled up. They will stay scaled up. With the Cosmic mod, that wasn't the case. Ultimately, all he had running was, I'm assuming, some very small script code that just scaled it up. No different than if I was to go in and just type in set scale. Now this, again, it's got some good ideas, but the crashing is an instant like, what's going on here? Now look, in most instances, you may not be coming across that many Terrormorphs. I am on Ptolemy, right? Now Terrormorphs can spawn anywhere. I don't know if like this location is just there's a lot of them, but the idea that I do think it is tied to those particle effects. That's what's causing the game to crash. I think that, again, I'm not a modder. I don't know specifics. I know basic stuff because, like I said, I used to do forging, and I know that particles and lighting and effects they used to be problematic on my Xbox. But yeah, I just feel like if the mod author was to, like, first of all, did they test the mod? I think we gotta hit them with the, if you're gonna put your mod on Xbox, test your fucking mod on an Xbox. Clearly the mod author has not done that. Neither has Bethesda. I don't know what Bethesda's QA system is. Even if this mod didn't crash, I think it is not worth it at the current price. I think that if you're making a paid mod that modifies a creature like such as the Terrormorph, which yes, it is the apex creature of Starfield, but it is the sort of creature where you may play an entire playthrough and never come across it. The idea of that mod like costing a $5 for something that you may come across once every, what, like once every 10 hours, maybe less. Obviously, if you're going looking for them, yeah. I think at best it's probably a 200 credit mod. Maybe even that's pushing it in my opinion. Yes, the effects are cool, but because it breaks the game, it's kind of like, yeah. It makes me wonder like how much of this like the effects and stuff is actually like usable. Like, you know, like how much of this fancy stuff that the xenomorphs, the terrormorphs are doing is causing my Xbox issues. So I'm going to try and find them one more time just because I feel like, you know, I want to test it again. Because again, singular terrormorphs, they didn't really show their duplication method or the kind of spawning clones or copies. When I did come across them, there was multiple. Now I'm actually going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to test something here. So we have, in the gameplay options, we have everything is set to default. I've put the ability up to that. I'm going to set the max decoys to 10. Now, realistically, if it is the decoys and the spawning of each decoy spawns one of them, when we come across a terrormorph, it should, in theory, crash our game. So let's test it. So we've got two terrormorphs here, a level 6 and a level 14. I'm going to shoot him. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I honestly think the stagger is less of an actual stagger and more my game phrasing briefly. Yeah. So now we're going to keep shooting them. Alright, so the particles go away sometimes, but not all the time. Oh no, they don't. They just... Where do they teleport to? Yep. Alright, so no crashing so far. Oh, more just... Oh. Alright, so I don't know if you can notice... Yeah, that it's a script, actually, that's causing that. So this is a situation very much like the Icarus, I am guessing. You see how it'll initially spawn a terrormorph, and then I'm assuming there's a script in play that spawns the terrormorph, and a script in play that makes the terrormorph invisible and also makes it one-shot and leave that effect. Now, I'm assuming what is happening is that the script is... Oh, sorry, Timmy, I just accidentally hit my dog. I didn't hit him, I took him on my foot. I'm guessing the script is causing that. Now, I don't know how fixable that is. Whether it's a case of maybe the mod author can tweak some stuff. Currently, I've been recording for probably about a half an hour, and my game has crashed 2 times. Oh, I forgot I actually got a new controller. There's like a button on the back, so I bound my button to jetpack. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go look for one more terrormorph, just because I want to see. I am trying to bait a crash to see, because currently it's what, like a 2-in-1 chance of a crash. Hello. And I'm not doing this for the purpose of to try and like kind of shame the mod author or anything like that. I'm trying to test the mod. Alright, we'll be back All right, I see a Terrormorph ahead. Level 10. I don't know if... Oh no, Cora's coming. Actually been enjoying my walk around, so we're gonna aggro him. Alright, he's he's transformed into various and gone invis. So the random... So I'm gonna let them build up, because I feel like that might be what it is. These... Okay, that's the real Terrormorph. Okay, that's the fake one. The fake ones can't do any damage. Aura's gonna come here. Now remember, I do have it cranked to the max. But prior to it being cranked to the max, I was getting crashes when it was set to the minimum. So they just keep duplicating. Cora seems to not be able to see them. Oh no, she can kind of see them. I don't. Oh, are you the real one? Oh, Jesus. Let's see, there we got all these particle effects that seem to just stay there. Let me kill him and see if they stay. Oh. Oh dear Lord. So it seems like the script that's being used to make the Terrormorphs duplicate, it's supposed to... Yeah, I see... I think I found why the game crashes. Jesus fucking Christ. So the script has broken itself. So the script is supposed to do, I'm assuming, holy Jesus Christ. What the script is supposed to do is it's supposed to spawn a Terrormorph and then make the Terrormorph instantly killable. But that's not always the case, because somehow some of the Terrormorphs seem to be immune to the script. Where did they go? Alright. Yeah, so... These don't seem to go... I'm gonna... Oh, do I have... So this being left here, this is a no-no. This is a massive problem. Like, we're in a flat open area, no other creatures, no trees aside from that one bird. I'm going to assume if this happened in, like, an area, like, that was more populated, like, God forbid this happened in New Atlantis, I could definitely see it crashing. Yeah, like, this is just... It just, yeah. Test your mod on Xbox. It's a cool concept, but there's certain elements of it that is very cash grabby. Even if it wasn't like 2 crashes in the space of a half an hour, not good. Obviously, things seem smooth now. But keep in mind that I'm playing 60 FPS performance. If somebody was on a Series S or running 30 FPS quality, so going more for graphics, there's a high probability they would have more substantial crashes. But yeah, if it worked without crashes, I'd say it's worth about, in my opinion, 200 credits. That just because you are modifying a creature that outside of the kind of the side quest, they're very rare, you know. It'd be like making a 500 credit pack for Ashta, you know. Like, yeah, the Ashta, they're all over Aquila, but when you're not in Aquila, they're nowhere. But that's pretty much it, guys. Again, I'm not trying to... No hate towards the mod author, like, directly. Ultimately, it is Bethesda who allows this stuff to go through. But yeah, as always, have a nice day, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.